guys, it is Jess and welcome to another speed build. So this particular speed build is actually part of a big group collab. We're basically rebuilding all of the worlds in The Sims 4 and we started off with Newcrest and every world has its own theme. So the theme for this particular world is ancient Greek or Roman. So I chose to do like ancient Roman, and it was very fun because I got to do a bit of like research into like what ancient Roman people lived in and what their houses were like and that kind of stuff. So I chose to go for a more I guess wealthy family home, and also, I mean, this is not like exactly what a traditional Roman home looked like. I kind of did my best to convert it into The Sims 3, but then I just said The Sims 3, convert it like into The Sims 4, but then also be creative with it, because I mean, it was really hard to find like a lot of pictures of the interior of the home. The exterior I could find some pictures of, and I think I got a pretty similar, pretty well inspired by look for the outside. I'm not too sure on the inside because, as I said, it was really hard to find like pictures of it and stuff. So I'll talk a little bit more about like the inside when we get to that. I'm actually going to be talking about the build a lot in this voiceover, maybe the whole voiceover. We'll see how we go. But anyway, before we kind of talk about parts of the build, I just want to say all the people who are in the collaboration. They're all in the description below. There is a playlist where all these videos are going, so make sure you check out all that as well. But basically, we have Khaleesim, who is like the coordinator, organizer of the whole thing. Then we have Dr. Ashley, Archie Sim, It's Nat, Adam Sims, The Sims Sanctuary, Singing Simmer, Simmersley, BVA Builds, Amy Adores Sims, Nicole Sim Social, and yours truly. So I have like checked out all these guys' channels, and like I personally can't wait for the builds to go up. We're not doing them all at once, so they're going to be coming out like over the month. It just kind of like worked out easier that way, and then you're not bombarded with like, 12 builds all at once, if that makes sense. So that's the way that we have chosen to do it. So just wanted to point that out. Now that we're kind of getting a little bit more into the build, I can talk about the build a little bit. So basically, as I said before, this is a more like wealthy family home because, and I don't want to like be offensive when I say this. I think the more like middle class or lower class, and this is how it was described on the article that I read. So hopefully they have like also used the politically correct like phrasing. So I'm sorry if there's a better phrase I could use, let me know, but basically what it said on the article was that like middle and lower class people lived in like these more like apartment buildings, and they were sort of like larger and multi-story, whereas more wealthy people or people who lived out like in the countryside would have these larger homes. And the particular one that I'm inspired by and that I tried to sort of replicate is called a Roman domus, which is just like sort of Mediterranean architecture, and something that they all sort of seem to have was this kind of like atrium area, and from what I could read and gather, there was a big emphasis on like gardens and stuff. So it was like that you walk in and there's like fountains and garden, and like that was a really big thing. So that's what I tried to like replicate here. Most places, like floor plans and stuff that I looked at had like the main entryway, which was supposed to be like a big grand entrance, and then like you continue down that entranceway into like a garden area. So that's like what I kind of did, as you can see. And then, yeah, they kind of had that like U shape where you have all these small rooms all around the outsides, and then the main, like the garden and the atrium entryway, like that kind of decorative stuff in the middle. So that's why like I guess planned the house in this way. The thing that I think I struggled with the most, as I said before, was the interior, because there was a lot on the exterior and there were like floor plans and stuff like that, but there wasn't a whole lot that really really showed me like what the interior would look like. There were like a few pictures, but it was kind of hard. So I had to sort of use my own imagination and my own creativity a little bit for the inside. But like a couple of rules that I did kind of set for myself was I wanted it to be sort of like semi off the grid living. So I tried to put in, like, I put in some firewood and like a wood stove kind of thing, and I sort of imagined that a lot of the gardens would perhaps be like pretty, but maybe there's like spices and herbs as well, so sort of like an off the grid living style. And there are no electronics at all except for that fridge, but I reckon that fridge looks more like a meat safe, which technically has no electricity. And then I put in like the washboard instead of the washing machine. So I really tried to make this like older or like more ancient. Yeah, and then the other thing that I did read when doing my research into this was that there wasn't like a whole lot of furniture in the homes. Like they didn't really have, you know, like a whole heap of like dresses and lounges and bedside tables and all that kind of stuff. It was just more simplistic. And I think what it was sort of saying is that it's not like you could just go down to IKEA and like buy a whole house worth of furniture. Everything was sort of more constructed. So I intentionally made the homes like very, very basically furnished. I didn't put in like an actual lounge or a living area. I don't know, I probably could have, but from what I read about the rooms that I could really see was that there was a dining room, and they had a big emphasis, like that was like where they would entertain. So the dining room was like a big focal point. Like a kitchen, all houses kind of have a kitchen, and I tried to make that one look kind of like olden style. And then like bedrooms and stuff. So that's why I didn't put in the living room, because I didn't really read much about a living room. And then there was one really interesting article, like I personally find this really interesting. Apparently they didn't have like mirrors and stuff on the walls. Like there just wasn't a lot of like clutter and decoration. So you'll notice that there's like no mirrors in this build at all. And it's not cluttered. It's very minimalistic. And then something that I just chose to do, you may or may not know, but I was actually in Rome like last month. So something I noticed, like we went to like a lot of old sort of churches and stuff, and there's always a lot of like intricate like tiling or paintings and stuff. So I tried to make all the rooms have like really intricate wallpapers, because it sort of just reminded me of like going through the churches and going through some of the places in Rome with like their very intricate designs. So that's kind of like the justification behind that. I kind of struggled a bit as well with like what to put on the floors, because I was trying to think. I thought that tile would be a thing, but in the bedrooms I couldn't imagine that they would have like carpet. So I ended up just going with those like older styled floorboards that you can like see right now. Oh, that was a really weird laugh. That was like a oh my god, I'm an embarrassment to myself. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so I went with like that different style of like wooden flooring, but in reality it probably would have been concrete, but I mean I just went with wood anyway. And then this house has like 3 bedrooms, and then I could have made one a 4th bedroom, but I decided to make it like a dressing room. And I don't know, I just feel like this was like my own sort of imagination and my own creativity. I was like, you know, they'd have like this dressing room where like maybe the servants would like help them get dressed. And then I realized there's like nowhere in this house for the servants to even stay, unless they had like this little pink bedroom. So I did my best. But yeah, I think it's hard. Like, it's ancient Rome in The Sims 4. But I definitely liked that it was hard. Like, it's good to have a challenge sometimes. And I really enjoyed, like, reading up and looking into the things. So that was really cool. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, I remember. I didn't put doors in per se. I have these arches. And I kind of imagined that maybe these arches would have, like, curtains hanging over them. And I didn't actually put curtains in, because then I don't think the Sims would be able to get into any of the rooms if I put curtains over those arches. So I just thought, you know, like, maybe if that's something that you want to do if you download the house. I mean, I don't know if people are going to download this house. I think it's like a cool speed build to watch, but personally I wouldn't play in this, but I'd watch the video, because I've watched a few videos on this already. already, and I think it's really cool. That's just me personally. But if you want to, you know, get this house and you wanted to put curtains on the archways, I think that that would look really, really cool. The other part that I struggled with was the outside of the house, because I couldn't find anything on like the exterior and like what kind of plants did they have? Did they have plants? I don't know. So I made it very minimalistic, and I only put in like this little kind of like courtyard garden, and I put a little statue there, and I put like an easel out there and a chess table and stuff, and then out the front there's like 6 plants. So as I said, guys, I did my best, and I really, really hope that you like it. Don't forget out. I literally cannot talk today. It's probably because it's 11 p.m. I finished night shift this morning. I've had no sleep, and I should be in sleep. Oh my god, guys, I'm just gonna go. Check everybody out. I promise the next voiceover will be better, and I'm pretty sure like everyone else's voiceover will be better too. So even if you only watch their video for the good voiceover, and now I've spoken in screenshots. Look, I'm gonna go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hope to catch you all in my next video. Toodaloo!